Let's pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of the leaders and legislative assemblies for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants who you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country, and to those interests you have committed to our charge. Good morning, members. Let's start.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Good morning, members. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Honorable members, the office of the clerk of the county assembly is in receipt of petition from Kadama Welfare Association, Lukenya West Self-Help Group, Syokimau Mavoko Community Associations, and Gwatanyo ya Mukamba Self-Help Group, which are part of the Mavoko Land Association. The petition is dated 25th November 2022 and was received on 28th November 2022. Honorable members, the petition brings to the attention of the County Assembly on regulations parcels of land in Mavoko Sub-County that were originally under the ownership of East African Portland Company, and that in the year 2020, the East African Portland Company, which is 52% government and 48% private in shareholding, wrote to the cabinet to seek approval to dispose the fully mined and idle land as a way of raising capital to fund the company's petitions. Honorable members, the petition alleges that the disposal was successfully done, but efforts to have the Department of Lands, County Government of Machakos survey, subdivide map, and issue the title deeds have been fertile. Honorable members, the petition's prayers is that the County Assembly intervenes on the issuance of approval papers to facilitate transfer of ownership. Honorable members, Standing Order number 200 provides the Speaker may allow comments, observations, or clarifications in relation to petition presented or reported, and such total time shall not exceed 30 minutes. Further, Standing Order number 201, Sub-Order 1, provides every petition presented on report pursuant to this part shall stand committed to the relevant sectoral. Yes, Honorable Ellen.
Madam Speaker, I'm wondering whether this should be read by a committee member of lands or it should be read by the Speaker. I just want clarification.
Point of information. Point of information, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Mheshimiwa Minority.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just want to inform my senior honorable member, Ellen Detty, that what the Speaker is doing is within the confines of the standing orders and the Constitution of Kenya. So once you have gone through, that is the time when they can be committed to that committee. So the Speaker has to read to that it can commit so that it can become the property of the House. So whatever is happening is quite in order. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Well guided.
Yes, Honorable Dominic.
Madam Speaker, thank you. It's good that honorable members learn that at any one point in time, the Speaker will never be out of order. So you cannot raise on a point of order when the Speaker is seated there. You can always raise on a point of information. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Dominic. We can proceed. Honorable members, Standing Order number 200 provides the Speaker may allow comments, observations, or clarification in relation to petition presented or reported, and such total time shall not exceed 30 minutes. Further, Standing Order number 201 Suborder 1 provides every petition presented or reported pursuant to this part shall stand committed to the relevant sectoral committee. In this regard, the petition is hereby committed to the Lands and Energy Committee. The committee has 60 calendar days to consider and table a report on the petition to this House pursuant to Standing Order 201, Suborder 2. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Next order. I invite the Honorable Nicholas Nzioka, the Majority Leader, Honorable Dominic Ndambuki, and Honorable Grace Bahati on that order to lay the papers.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the following papers on the table of the Assembly today, 21st February 2023. 1. Machakos Women and Person with Disability Revolving Fund 2021 Regulations. 2. First and second quarter report for financial year 2022-2023 for the Department of Lands, Housing, Urban Development and Energy. 3. Second quarter report for financial year 2022-2023 for the Department of Public Health. 4. Second quarter report for financial year 2022-2023 for the Department of Youth and Sports. 5. Second quarter report for the financial year 2022-2023 for the Department of Gender and Social Welfare. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Dominic. Chairperson Banchet. Clerk, proceed. Honorable PK, just wait a bit. I commit the papers to the committed to the Delegated Legislation Committee and commit to the Lands Energy Committee, and also commit the papers to the Health and Emergency Services Committee. The second quarter for the Department of Youth and Sports committed to the Social Welfare and Sports Committee, and also the second quarter for financial year 2022-2023 for the Department of Gender and Social Welfare. The papers should be committed to the Social Welfare and Sports Committee. Next paper, Honorable Dominic Ndambuki, Chairperson, Budget and Appropriations Committee.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm holding brief on behalf of Honorable Dominic. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order number 180 Sabbatical 5, I beg to lay the following paper on the floor of the House today, 21st February 2023. Report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on the annual county budget implementation review by the Office of Controller of Budget for the financial year 2021-2022.
Honorable Grace Bahati, Chairperson, Education and Social Services Committee.
Madam Speaker, good morning, and the Honorable House. Thank you, Phoebe Koki, a special elected member by the Maendeleo Chapter Party, standing in for the Chair, Education, Honorable Grace Bahati, being the Deputy Chair, Education Committee. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order number 190 Sabbatical 5 F, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly today, 21st February 2023. Report of the Education and Social Services Committee on the 8th Annual Education Summit by Competence Building Society of Early Child Education for Kenya. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Phoebe Koki. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
I invite Honorable Nicholas Nzioka, Majority Leader, to give the notice of motion.
Honorable Speaker, that's aware that the Committee on Power and Privileges is established pursuant to the Section 15, Suborder 5 of County Assemblies Power and Privileges Act number 2017 and Standing Order number 189 Suborder A. Further aware that the committee comprises of Speaker, who shall be the Chairperson, Deputy Speaker, and not more than 3 other members nominated by Assembly's parties and approved by the House at the commencement of every session. Informed that, pursuant to Section 15 Suborder 4 of County Assemblies of Power and Privileges Act 2017, the committee is mandated to inquire into the conduct of a member whose conduct is alleged to constitute a breach of privileges in terms of Section 16 of the said Act. Aware that the Assembly parties have nominated members to serve in the committee. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give notice of the motion that, pursuant to Standing Order number 189A, this House approves the following members to the Power and Privileges Committee in addition to specific members provided under Standing Order 189A, Suborder A and B. 1. Honorable Nicholas Nzioka. 2. Honorable Constant Nzioki. Honorable Mary Dena. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I do propose a minority. Thank you.
Honorable Dominic Ndambuki, Chairperson, Budget.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I wish to give a notice of motion. Honorable Speaker, aware that Article 228, Sub-Article 6 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, read together with Sections 9 and 16, 1b, of the Controller of Budget Act of 2016 requires the Office of the Controller of Budget to submit a report to each House of Parliament on the implementation of the national and county government's budgets every 4 months. Further, aware that Section 166, subsection 2A of the Public Finance Management Act of 2012, which states that in preparing a quarterly report for a county government entity, the accounting officer shall ensure that the report contains information on the financial and non-financial performance of the entity. That county treasury shall submit reports generated from the Integrated Financial Management Systems, that is IFMIS, and county approved budgets to the Office of the Controller of Budget, informed that the annual county government budget implementation review report examines the cumulative budget performance of the 47 counties for the period between July 2021 to June 2022. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give a notice of motion that this House discusses and approves the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on the annual county budget implementation review by the Office of the Controller of Budget for the fiscal year 2021-2022. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Dominic. Honorable Grace Bahati, Chairperson, Education and Social Services Committee.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Phoebe Koki, Deputy Chair, Education Committee, standing for the Chair, Education Committee, Honorable Grace Bahati alias Zora. Honorable Speaker, they're aware that the 4th schedule of the Constitution distributes functions and powers between the national and the county governments. And Part 2 of the schedule, as read together with Section 5 of the County Government Act 2012, elucidates specific mandates of county governments. The devolution of ECD to county governments resonates with Section 26, Suborder 1 of the Basic Education and number 14 of 2013, which further explains that county governments are responsible for funding the development of required infrastructure for institutions providing ECD services as well as VTCs. Cognizant that the Competence Building Society of Early Child Education for Kenya, that is CBCECE Kenya, is responsible for spirit of promoting quality services for children by overseeing the adherence of standard and quality assurance guidelines in early childhood development and education at the counties. Noting that Machakos County Assembly Committee on Education is a member of the Competence Building Society of Early Child Education, that is CBSECE Kenya, and that members participated in the 8th Annual Education Summit, which took place from 5th to 9th December, the year 2022, at Karen Christian College, Nairobi, Kenya. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the motion, the following motion, that this Honorable House adopts the report of the Education and Social Services Committee on the 8th Annual Education Summit by Competence Building Society of Early Child Education for Kenya, that is CBSECEK, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 21st February 2023. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. Honorable Dominic Maitha, Chairperson, Committee on Implementation.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wish to give the following notice. Honorable Speaker, that aware the Select Committee on Implementation is established pursuant to Standing Order number 198, is mandated to scrutinize the resolution of the Assembly. Aware that on 19th October 2022, during the afternoon plenary sitting, a statement on implementation status for the Machakos County Emergency Fund Regulations of 2021 was sought and referred to the Committee on Implementation to inquire on operationalization of the fund. Cognizant, the committee convened and sought statement to the Department of Finance, Revenue Management and Economic Planning, and aware that it took more than the stipulated time for the department to give the response, which prompted the committee to do a first reminder and second reminder. Honorable Speaker, aware that the stated second reminder was responded by the department on 6th of December 2022, the committee interrogated the forwarded response on the assigned task and further resolved to meet the Chief Officer Department of Finance on Monday, 20th February 2023 for further clarification on issues raised by the committee concerning that response. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give notice on motion that the implementation committee be granted more time, a period of 2 weeks, that is 14 days, effective from today, to complete the matter so as to respond on that statement. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Dominic. Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Honorable Nicholas Nzioka, proceed and give the statements.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is not Nicholas Nzioka. I'm Judas Mulindawa, the leader of minority. As you are aware, Madam Speaker, the House Business Committee is led by the chair. When the chair is not present, the majority leader, the minority leader, takes his position. Honorable Speaker, before I read the statement, I will take this opportunity to congratulate you for taking that position and say that you are doing it perfectly. So thank you very much for the good job you are doing. So far, so good. Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee met on 21st February 2023 to prioritize business for the House is forwarded by the committees and honorable members pursuant to the provision of Standing Order number 151, sub order 6D. The committee balloted business as follows. 1. On Tuesday, 21st February 2023 morning, 10 a.m., the first business is a petition on Mavoko Land Association, and that was supposed to be prosecuted by the Speaker, and we have done it perfectly. Item number 2, Honorable Speaker, is a motion on approval of the membership of the Powers and Privilege Committee, which was prosecuted by the Deputy Majority Leader on behalf of the Majority Leader. Item number C is a motion on extension of time by Honorable Dominic Maitha, and he has already done that. On Tuesday afternoon, 21st February 2023, we will have a report on the annual county budget implementation review by the Office of the Controller of Budget, financial year 2021-2022, and that business will be prosecuted by our most able chair, Honorable Dominic Dambuki. Then from there, we go to Wednesday morning, that is 22nd February 2023. The first item in the morning will be report on inquiry into alleged regularization program for the parcels of land and the management of East African Portland Cement Company, and that will be prosecuted by Honorable Ndwiki. The second item will be the report on 8th Annual Education Summit by Competence Building Society of Early Childhood Education for Kenya. That will be propelled by our most able chair, Honorable Bahati. Then on Tuesday afternoon, we will have a motion on marking of boundaries of all access roads in Machakos County, and that will be prosecuted by Biuni MCA Honorable Peter Kelonzo. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, minority. Next order.
Order number 8, motion, approval of membership of Powers and Privileges Committee.
I call Honorable Nicholas Nzioka, Majority Leader, to proceed and give the motion.
Honorable Speaker, that aware that the Committee on Power and Privileges is established pursuant to Section 15, Suborder 5 of County Assembly's Power and Privileges Act 2017 and Standing Order number 189A. Further aware that the committee comprises of the Speaker, who shall be the Chairperson, Deputy Speaker, and not more than 3 other members nominated by Assembly parties and approved by the House at the commencement of every session. Informed that, pursuant to Section 15, Suborder 4 of County Assembly's Power and Privileges Act 2017, the committee is mandated to inquire into the conduct of a member whose conduct is alleged to constitute a breach of privilege in terms of Section 16 of the said Act. Aware that the Assembly parties have nominated members to serve in the committee. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that, pursuant to Standing Order number 189A, this House approves the following members to Power and Privilege Committee in addition to specific members provided under Standing Order number 189A, Suborder A and B. 1. Honorable Nicholas Nzioka. 2. Honorable Constance Zioki. 3. Honorable Mary Ndena. I wish to invite the Honorable Judas Ndawa, the Minority Leader, to second the motion.
Honorable Minority Leader. I now propose the question that, pursuant to Standing Order number 18A, this House approves the following members to Powers and Privileges Committee, in addition to the specific members provided under Standing Order 189A and B. Honorable Nicholas Nzioka, Honorable Constance Zioki, the Honorable Mary Ndenya. I now invite members to debate the motion. Yes, Minority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Judas Ndawa, the MCA representing the great people of Matu. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the motion and say, in every institution we must have a disciplinary committee. And for the new members, this is a committee which will be dealing on members. If you misbehave, that is the committee that will be appearing before. Honorable Speaker, while supporting the motion, I just want to request, from the way you have conducted yourself today, Madam Speaker, that is a clear indication that every member in this House can be assigned a certain task and perform it perfectly. You have proved that. So, Honorable Speaker, I'm requesting the members of this House, this procedure committee, once they sit, we can see the Speaker is a chair. That is guaranteed. We can see the members who are there. I can see the Majority Leader is also a member of that committee. Majority Leader chairs in other committees. We have Mheshimiwa Ndilo, who is also a chair of another committee. The only member who is not holding any position is Mheshimiwa Mbula. Honorable Speaker, I'm requesting once we approve this committee, let the members go there and give Mheshimiwa Mbula the vice chair position so that she can be able to execute our mandate. Because from today's proceeding, there is clear proof that any member, any member, and especially women, you are doing wonderful and you can do better. So I'm requesting that they consider that. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much, minority. I know you are he for she. I now invite the mover to reply the motion. Honorable Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, allow me to thank the members of this assembly, first for supporting the motion and working in good spirit for the benefit of our county and for the benefit of our assembly. Indeed, what Honorable Minority Leader have said, that should be the spirit and should be work here as brothers and sisters. So I thank you, Honorable members. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Majority Leader. I now put the question that pursuant to Standing Order number 189A, this House approves the following members to the Powers and Privileges Committee, in addition to the specific members provided under Standing Order 181A, Suborder A and B. Honorable Nicholas Nzioka, the Honorable Constance Nzioki, the Honorable Mary Ndenya. As many of the opinions say ayes, ayes. As many are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, motion, extension of reporting time.
Honorable Dominic.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that aware that the Select Committee on Implementation is established pursuant to Standing Order number 188 and is mandated to scrutinize the resolutions of the Assembly. Aware that on 19th October 2022, during the afternoon plenary sitting, a statement on implementation status for the Machakos County Emergency Fund Regulations 2021 was sought and referred to the Committee on Implementation to inquire on the operationalization of the fund, cognizant that the committee conveyed the sought statement to the Department of Finance, Revenue Management and Economic Planning, and aware that it took more than the stipulated time for the department to give their response, which prompted the committee to do a first reminder and second reminder. Honorable Speaker, aware that the stated second reminder was responded by the department on 6th of December 2022, the committee interrogated the forwarded response on the assigned task and further resolved to meet the Chief Officer Department of Finance on Monday 20th February 2023 for further clarification on issues raised by the committee concerning their response. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that the Implementation Committee be granted more time, a period of 2 weeks, 14 days, to complete the matter so as to respond on the statement. I wish to call Honorable Mercy Jaggi to second the motion as a member of the committee. Thank you.
Honorable Mercy Jaggi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Mercy Jaggi, member of the committee. I second the motion.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Mercy. I now propose the question that the Implementation Committee be granted more time period of 2 weeks, that is 14 days, to complete the matter so as to respond to the statement. I now invite members to debate the motion. Yes, Minority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. Honorable Speaker, the motion before the House is on issue of extension. And Honorable Speaker, I'm supporting the motion so that that particular committee can have ample time to compile its report. What I would urge and what I would request, Honorable Speaker, as you are aware, we have two arms of the government, and there is what we call separation of powers and duties. Honorable Speaker, I'm just making an appeal that each arm of the government does its duties and obligation, considering the timelines and the period which is supposed to do whatever it's supposed to do. Honorable Speaker, so that the chairman can come and request for extension. That is a proof that there was a delay and the motion is self-explanatory, that they requested for information. The information was not availed. They wrote a reminder. The first one, everything went mum. There was no communication. Then the committee went ahead and wrote the second reminder. Honorable Speaker, this is evident that the other arm of the government is not responding issues on time. And we are requesting, because this is an issue of an emergency. Honorable Speaker, we are not aware of what can happen today or tomorrow. In Turkey, there was this earthquake. And you know what happened. Suppose we have something like that in Machakos County, and we don't have the regulation. Even if we have the resources, we don't have the regulation that can allow those funds to be used to address that particular problem. So, Honorable Speaker, this is an issue which needs to be dealt with immediate effect, so that we can be set and ready for any eventuality. So, Honorable Speaker, I'm requesting our counterparts who are on the other side, once we communicate to them for a certain information, let them avail the information in good time, so that this house is not held hostage by their delay. And we are doing this in good faith. All of us, we are serving the same client. The client who is being served by the assembly is the same client who is being served by the executive. And we agreed that we should work hand in hand to ensure things are moving in our county. So, Honorable Speaker, I support the motion.
Thank you, Minority Leader. The Honorable Ellen Deti.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to stand here to support the motion. Just want to cite an example of what happened some 2 years ago. We had floods, and a lot of people from especially Mua Ward and other parts of the county were affected because of the floods. And I remember our deputy governor being very helpless because he could not do much. We had funds in the account, but the funds could not be released. So some of us were forced to go out and look for funding so that we can buy blankets and food for those who are displaced. So it's a very important motion, and we should pass it and, you know, request the committee concerned to move with speed to ensure that they get this report and bring it up for the passing of the regulation. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Ellen Deti. I now invite the mover, Honorable Dominic Maitha, to reply.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this moment. Once again, I thank the Honorable Minority Leader. I thank Honorable Senior Ellen Deti. Madam Speaker, we ought to have completed this matter way long time ago. And I want to echo the words of the Minority Leader. It's quite unfortunate, 10 years down the line, the county government of Machakos has never at any one single day spent or allocated funds to the county emergency kitty. There has been so many emergency occurrences that are well known to each and everyone on the fans. Recently, Corona, which left so many counties devastated financially. The locusts menace, and currently the hunger menace and the water menace surrounding this county. But for the last 10 years, nothing has been done to this effect. It's quite unfortunate that the committee came to realize that it's only 5 million shillings, which is partly 0.01% of the total county budget that was allocated to this kitty. And when we pushed so hard on the same, a supplementary budget was brought before this House towards the tail end of the last year. And 35 million shillings was appropriated on the same and added to 40 million shillings. But the most unfortunate part of it is that, Madam Speaker, this money cannot be spent. In case right now we have an emergency, we have to look for alternative means, as Honorable Ellen has alluded, to cushion the same. For just one simple reason: there are no regulations. So, Madam Speaker, we've sought this extension. Yesterday, we were supposed to meet the Chief Officer Finance, and it is so disappointing that as the committee was seated, we only received a communication through WhatsApp that the Chief Officer had sought to excuse himself from the meeting because he was attending a function in Naivasha, which is too unfortunate and quite uncalled for. This is an house procedure. The executive ought to respond in time so that members can allocate that time for committee sittings to undertake another business. The Committee of Implementation, and the members can attest, has got a lot of pending work for the last almost 3 years. So if every chief officer or every member of the executive or any other member will be called to come and respond to queries in any committee, and they keep on postponing and adjourning, this house will never proceed, Madam Speaker. So it is the high time that the office of the Speaker, Madam Speaker, communicates through the office of the clerk to the executive so that they can give us timely responses so that we can expedite these matters and be able to move on and do other matters. So, Madam Speaker, we seek to get that approval, that extension of time in the next 2 weeks. Fortunately or unfortunately, we happen to have met with the Chief Officer today. He made an impromptu visit, and we have discussed on the same. And we have told them in the next 14 days they must, and underline the word must, present to this house the queries that we have raised on the demands and the responses, and also give us the regulations so that they can be committed to the relevant committee so that we can use, you can expedite on them, dispense on them, and have the kitty operationalized as soon as practicable. So I thank honorable members, and I request, Madam Speaker, through your office, ensure that there is proper communication to the executive that we need timely responses by the executive so that we can finish these matters and try to clear the backlog that is pending in most of the committees, and that will generate business for this committee. So otherwise, members, thank you, members, and we shall commit to the same. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. I now put the question that the implementation committee be granted time, a period of 2 weeks, that is 14 days, to complete the matter so as to respond to the statement. As many of the opinions say ayes, as many of the contrary opinions say nay, the ayes have it. The House adjourns to Tuesday, 21st February 2023 at 2:30 p.m.